Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and we're about to get into this total body strength workout with a lot of balance moves for today. Recommend having some water, a variety of weights if you're going to use weight. You don't have to use any. You might want some really light ones, like 3 pounds, for some of the more challenging moves towards the end of class. And just make sure things are straight. Perfect. Okay. So, oh, oy vey. Let's go ahead and get started uh, with a quick sip of water. Make sure you have some water nearby. And then a march. Okay. How are you feeling this morning? I hope that your answer is, I'm going to be honest, that my answer is I'm not feeling 100%. But at the end of that statement, we're still here. We're going to do our best. And that's what it's all about. You can stay right here, keeping things a little low key. We're in the morning, but if you're ready, let's move forwards and backwards just a little bit. We're just warming up, whatever time of day it is that you're joining me. Perhaps you're just getting out of your chair. Perhaps you're also just getting out of your bed. Perhaps you're just trying to get out of your head a little bit. If you want to pick up the pace, you're welcome to. Maybe you want to jog in an actual circle. Can you get your whole heel down towards the floor, however you're moving? And if you're going in a circle, I don't know, go in the opposite direction, whether that means um, turning around or actually going backwards for a minute. Keep it weird, right? Okay, let's go ahead and start to quiet your feet down. So look at my amazing notes. We'll get some nice big hip warm-ups before we continue. So ground through one of your feet. If you need a place to put your hand, do it, and just take a couple kicks forwards and backwards, starting to engage a bit more through your glute, pull your belly in, lift your chest up. Once you've gotten about 5 with one leg, we're just going to switch to the opposite leg. You don't need your hand on something for balance. You can even start practicing opposite arm, moving with opposite leg. Once you've gotten about 5, we'll switch to some tick-tock. So once again, dropping your foot to the floor. This is going to come into play a little bit later as well. So don't just let momentum take over. Think about really squeezing to find your lift. Let's switch to the other side. Squeeze to lift and intentionally cross. Last of these big hip openers as such, lift your right leg up, open it as wide as you can, tap down, bring it back in and around. Woo! And let's just like alternate legs on this. It's so much cracking and crunching early in the morning. That's a challenge to find words. All right. So proud of you for coming here, whatever time of day it is. Welcome. Getting one more of these on each side. And then give yourself a couple hip circles. We got a couple more warm-up moves in this amazing balance focused workout. So next we're going to come into a squat and add in a knee pull. So weight in your ears, nice little squat, and then transfer weight to one leg. Pull your knee up. Can you even lean back a little bit? Extra opening of that hip as you find a gentle back bend. If you can't find a gentle back bend, that's okay. Maybe you can't even pick your knee up this morning and you're just maybe just tapping your knee instead of finding a little bit of a pull here. Let's get about one or two more on each side, encouraging you to move slowly through all of today's exercises. Awesome. All right. Changing it up a little bit. We're going to squat and then you're going to find an inner sole tap. If you want a little bit more than just this inner sole tap, you can even reach down and grab hold of your foot, maybe even pulling your heel towards your hip. And if that's not going to happen, that's okay. Then just keep with trying to tap the inner sole of your foot. Just a couple more. Remember, we're moving nice and slow. We're already starting to bring balance into the party for today. Last one on each side. All right, next we're going to squat and find that side leg lift again. So squat into your side leg lift. Can you keep your toes flexed? So toes pointing towards your shins. Less opportunity here for momentum to find that leg lift. We've got two more on each side. Still just warming up. That's right. The last one, right and left. Okay, next, we're going to go for a little bit of just a glute kickback, a little bit of a lift. So let's start with just that glute kickback, keeping your hips squared forward. You can point your toe this time. Hands can be at your hips for balance, shoulders released away from your ears. It's a squeeze of the glute to lift the heel. Slight bend even in your standing leg. Let's switch to the opposite side. All right, next little combo, we're going to go for both legs down on the floor. A good morning. So arms can cross on your chest. There can be a slight bend in your knees. We're going to hinge hip, nice flat back, come down, big stretch into your hamstrings. Then inhale, lift yourself, balance on one leg, fingers can stretch down towards the floor for a little single leg Romanian deadlift / balancing stick. Lift yourself back up, hands come back towards your shoulders, hinge at the hips, slight bend at the knees for your good morning. And then switch to the opposite leg, find your single leg. Romanian deadlift / balancing stick. All right. As you're coming into this balance move, I want you to think about being as straight of a line as possible. So if reaching down towards the floor means that you have to break that straight plane, and you look more like a broken umbrella. If you're rounding from the back, don't go down as much. Just maybe find that balance, staying nice and long and lifted. Let's get one more round through. So we'll find each leg, single leg RDL. Keeping that hip down towards the mat. Try not to let it rotate out. Hamstrings. Pardon me. Last good morning right here. All right. We got two more moves in this quick little warm up. We're going to go for an elbow to knee squat, arms up overhead into balancing stick. So starting with thumbs by your shoulders, maybe find that squat, find your big extension, find a little bit of a hinge. So that same RDL we were doing, but a little bit more challenging with a longer lever. Finding your squat, elbows touch knees for a sec, shift your weight, leg comes behind you in that glute kickback, finding your little bit of a forward hinge. Awesome. Let's get two more on each side. So elbow to knee tap, arms come up overhead, bring your leg behind you, squeeze your glute, hips forward, find a little bit of a hinge. Keeping your head in line with your spine. Last ones on each side. Awesome. Relax your arms down by your side. Ooh, final move, coming down to the floor. First time down on the mat today for a little bit of world's greatest stretch. Okay, let's start in tabletop. Actually, give yourself a couple cat cows. So early, you're worth it. Oh my gosh. One more in each direction. And then find your neutral tabletop. From there, we're going to bring right foot forward. Sorry, that's my left foot. Right hand stays on the floor. Take a little bit of a twist, just doing a modified world's greatest stretch. It's going to come up in the next round. Bring that left leg back behind you. Bring your right foot forward. Find a twist. We got a kneeling get up coming up in the next round too. So just practicing bringing one leg forward and then the other right now is only going to be helpful in just about a minute and a half. Let's get two more times on each side for this nice practice of step forward, little twist and rotation, squeezing those shoulder blades towards each other, pressing your shoulders against an imaginary wall behind you. Last one on each side. Awesome. Stand yourself up. Grab another quick sip of water if you want. Hopefully, you're feeling much more warm than when you stepped over to your screen. Let's do round one. All right, so the first move that we have is a squat into reverse lunge, balance and stick. So we already practiced that for a minute. We're going to go for a squat. We're going to reverse lunge. Arms can come up as we come into balancing stick. Come back into your reverse lunge. Or you can keep your hands right here at your heart. I'm going to make that happen. Hands at the heart just to make round one a little bit easier. That's going to be our first move. We're going to alternate side to side. We've got 40 seconds of work. 20 seconds of rest. We're going to run through 3 exercises, and then we've got a somewhat challenging move we're going to do 2 times, I think. All right, let's get started with that squat, reverse lunge, balancing stick in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So we're going for a squat. Then you're staying low, coming into your reverse lunge, shifting the weight into your front leg, finding some length, balancing stick, hip down towards the floor, back into your reverse lunge. Squat, other leg, reverse lunge, balancing stick, reverse lunge, squat. Keep going. You can stick with whatever pace feels good. Finding one spot to focus your eyes is going to help with your balance, but it's likely that you're going to wiggle wobble a little bit today. You got about 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Next, we're going to get down on the floor. We've got a kneeling get up. So either just bringing one foot forward and alternating, or bringing one foot forward, getting back up into that squat, and then releasing down, starting with the other side standing. In 3, 2, 1, go for it. So maybe hands are at the waist. We're still keeping hands right here at heart center to encourage you to engage your back, to keep your chest up. If actually getting up from kneeling is too much for you right now, remember, you can just practice bringing that foot forward. Even from right here, just working towards the balance of shifting the weight, one foot forward and then the other. Couple more seconds to go. And we're going to stay low to the floor. We got some mountain climbers next. Yay. All right. So stay down here close to the mat. Mountain climbers are coming up next. Finding that big drive of your knee. Or maybe you're just hanging out in a plank. Or maybe you're just getting a knee drive from tabletop. Your choice starts right now. You're going to move nice and slow because I'm honestly really not feeling well today. That is a polite way of saying I've I was actually sick this morning. Yeah, but here we are doing our best. If I have to run off screen, I apologize. For 3, 2, 1, stand on up. I'm going to take it a little easier on my belly just so I can stay in the room. All right, we're coming back into our squat, reverse lunge into balancing stick. In 3, 2, 1, let's do it. Get and stay low. Squat, reverse lunge, find your balancing stick, back into your reverse lunge, squat. And how quietly are your feet moving? So, lots of weight in this front heel. That's what's really helping you to find that balance. Think towards hips, staying square towards the mat. You got just about 10 seconds left. Oops. Oh my gosh, last time through of these exercises for 3, 2, 1 to the floor for your kneeling get up. We'll shake it out. Maybe give yourself a couple hip circles while you're here. You got about 5 seconds till we get started. 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Awesome. So either, once again, just bringing one foot forward, practicing bringing one foot forward, or actually getting up, trying to stay in a somewhat low squat. Ten seconds left. And then we've got our plank with mountain climber for 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Stay down here on the floor. Maybe give yourself some cat cows right here. And then it's your choice what you're doing. Reminder, I'm not feeling well. I'm not going to do it. But get ready to set up for your plank or your mountain climber. Then let's do it. You can at least practice sending things back a little modified plank. Because remember, it's not all or nothing. It truly is what can you do today with the body that you have today. Maybe some days you really do need to just take a total break. But I think movement is medicine. Doing something always feels so much better than doing nothing, right? For 3, 2, 1. Great. All right, we made it through the core moves of round one. So now we're going to come into our challenge exercise. Staying low here towards the floor, we're building almost all those moves together. So starting from a plank, you're going to shift one foot forward, just like that kneeling get up. You're going to stand yourself up, arms raise up overhead, shifting the weight forward, finding a moment in your balancing stick, stepping back into your reverse lunge. We're going to release down and then find the same thing on the other side. All right, you got 10 seconds till we make that happen. I'm going to help walk you through it. It's got a full minute of work in 3, 2, 1. So find your plank and then foot steps all the way forward. Squeeze your inner thighs in. Stretch your arms up towards the ceiling for a little warrior one. Then shift the weight forward into your front leg. Float your back leg off the floor. Balancing stick. Maybe you hinge forward again. And then step your back leg back into your lunge. Hands down. Plank. Same thing on the other side. Awesome. So once again, we're finding that mountain climber to step forward into warrior one, lifting arms, finding balance, shifting weight into your front leg, standing up, carefully, quietly bringing that back leg back down through a reverse lunge, hands to the floor. Got about 10 more seconds. 3, 2, one. Awesome. Take a quick little break. We'll do that same round one more time, 1 more minute. In 3, 2, 1. If you're starting from standing, belly in, protect yourself as you find that hinge. And then step back. Same thing. Mountain climber into your warrior one, into your balancing stick, into your back lunge, pass through your planks. Really focus on squeezing your inner thighs in towards each other. It's going to help you with that balance to keep your hips squared to the top of the mat / the floor. Just about 20 seconds left right here. And then we're going to move on to a whole new round of exercises. For 3, 2, 1. Yay! Grab yourself a quick sip of water. L'chaim, good morning. Okay, still got a lot of lower body focus for round 2, but gonna start adding in the use of some weights. All right, so our first move is just gonna be side to front raise to overhead raise. So the limiting motion for many isn't even going to be your side lat raise to front raise. It's going to be your palms forward, bringing arms up overhead, especially without overarching the back, without letting that rib cage flare. I'm so tired. I have to use these threes to start, and that's okay. All right, so let's get right into it. We had a nice minute off. We're going to start with that front raise, side raise to the front, bring it up overhead, reverse our way back around and out. Remember, if your weights get or are too heavy, just put them down. Go with range of motion in 3, 2, here we do. Awesome. So out to the side, front, palms face forward, arms up overhead, back down, around and down. Chest is nice and lifted. Bring that slight bend back to your knees. And honestly, the only person who cares about what weight you're using today is you. You got to be smart for your body. Am I mentally a little upset that 3 pounds is where I'm at? Yep. Was I sick before class? Did I sleep 3 hours? Also, yep. Take a break. All right, so next move is going to be a sumo squat side to side with a front press. So we're going to open legs nice and wide. We're going to come down to a squat. We're going to shift side to side into a side lunge. As we come to the fronter, center front press, and then switch over to that side lunge. On the other side, let's do it. So toes are gently pointing forward. We're going to shift to the right side, push the outer edge of the foot into the floor, back to center, little press from the center, and keep going. Just shifting side to side, getting a little bit more of that inner thigh work here. If you need to take a second and take a break, maybe find that press and then stand up. Come back down to your squat. Find your shift side to side. Oops, I forgot we're only pressing from the center. Take a break. All right, next move is going to be a little side squat walk into a back leg lift and extension. So we're going to start nice and low on one side, take a couple of side squat shuffles, stand up, side leg extension, back lunge, back to your squat. Let's do it. So like 2 or 3 steps to the side, whatever your space encourages. Press through your heels, find your side hip extension into your back lunge, and then repeat. I'm going to turn sideways. So 2 steps to the side, press through your heels to rise, side leg extension, back lunge, back to your squat, hips stretching back. Press through those heels for your side leg lift. Ooh, nice. Keep going. That little side to side shuffle. Take a break. All right. We made it through all of the moves one time. So we're coming back to that front raise. Last time through, last front raise. Maybe you, like me, challenge yourself to a slightly heavier weight. Let's see what happens. 3, 2, 1. Do it. Belly in. Remember, we got to challenge ourselves to see change. But just because you can lift a heavier weight doesn't mean that you have to. I want you to use the weights with the best form. So no overarch in the back, rib cage pulled in tight, belly drawn in, protecting your back as well. And you're getting your hands to your shoulders. Oh my gosh, we made it. Great. So next is going to be that shifting side squat into your front press. So open your feet nice and wide. Get ready to push into the outer edge of the floor, weight up by your chest. Let's do it. Sink down low to your squat. Shift into your side lunge. Back to center. Press. Shift. Push the edge of the foot into the floor. Press at the center. Just make sure as you come into this side lunge that your knee is pointing in the same direction as your toe. So whatever direction your knee is pointing, that is the direction your big toe is pointing. And just like many of the other moves so far, classically the weight's going to be mostly in your heel, not the ball of the foot. Yay. Stand on up. All right, third move is going to be that side to side squat into your side leg lift, maybe even a back glute squeeze, lift, kick back before you step into your lunge. You ready? Me too. Let's do it. Get a little bit low, take a couple steps in one direction, press through your heels, root to rise, find your side leg extension, find your back glute lift into your lunge, stand it back up. Oop, I forgot we weren't standing up, we're just staying low. Press through your heels, side lunge, back glute lift, lunge, stay low. Yeah, awesome. Just keep going. Remember, this is our last time through the moves as such before we get to our challenge round. Ooh, I'm just going to finish up this one. Yay. Was that everything? Ah, the pride. All right. So now we're going to bring one weight, maybe that heavier weight since we're starting to feel a little bit warm. Our 1 minute move is going to be stepping into a side lunge. So stepping into a side lunge, weight can reach down towards the floor, and then either weight comes all the way up overhead, back to that overhead raise into a knee drive, foot can come down and then other direction, or you're gonna step into your side lunge, reach towards the floor, bring the weight back to your chest, and then find your knee drive the other side. All right, we start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So step into your side lunge and then either finding this big overhead press knee drive, weight returns to your chest, step into the other side lunge, big arching, you know what I'm saying? Or you're stepping out, you're bringing the weight back to your chest, then you're finding your knee drive. So the two challenge options are either finding this front raise, even if you take a moment to bring your knee up, or really working to go right from that side lunge into balancing with arms up overhead. Great. Just about 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Take a quick little break. Just taking about 15 seconds of a break. And we're going to do it one more time in 3, 2, 1. So stepping out into your side lunge, finding some sort of a knee drive overhead press. So some sort of a straight arm front raise is coming into play in each round that we're doing today, because I know how big of a challenge that can be, especially if you find that your shoulders slump forward a lot. We're here to challenge ourselves to see change, right? Last 10 seconds right here. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. 2 rounds done. Grab some water. Our last set of moves focuses a bit more on the back, on the abs. So grab your quick sip of water. This is the round where you also might want some really, really light weights. And then you'll also need some weights for some tricep work. So set that up on the floor. And then set yourself up on the floor. Let's get right into it. We are so close to the finish line. Okay, so our first move, I'm going to flip over. First move down here on the floor is bird dog. But instead of doing our bird dog, it's the standard way with a nice long extension. We're going to keep a 90-degree angle in our leg. So as our leg comes up, knees stay bent. Think about really using your glutes. And instead of arms stretching forward, arms going to reach out towards the side and then come back down. Excuse me. Weights. All right. So let's get right into that. Alternating each arm and leg, excuse me, in 3, 2, 1. So opposite arm, opposite leg lifts, squeeze your shoulder blades in, and then release your knee back down towards the floor. Palm is facing down towards the floor as your arm stretches out. And then really think about squeezing your shoulder blade in. You're doing your best to keep this 90-degree angle with your legs, so you're going to feel some extension in your hip flexor. Ooh, I got my first sweat drop. It's ready to drip onto the floor right from my chin. Okay, great. Now we're going to flip on over. Oh, there it went. For a little quarter sit up. This is where these light weights come into play. So arms are starting, elbows are in line with your shoulders. We are leaning back about halfway, and then it's just a little squeeze of your shoulders, lift of the chest, and then arms come forward. So we're staying right here at this like half or quarter way. Find that little squeeze and lift. If that's too much for you, squeeze, lift halfway, and then lower down. Our time has started. Can you keep your elbows nice and high in line with those shoulders? And then use that breath. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Chest lifts up just a little bit. Nice long spine. So you've got that V shape from your back and your thighs. Oh my gosh. Check out if your elbows are starting to drop towards the floor. Keep them wide and high. You did it. Wow. Move number 3. We're going to lay down on our back. We got a dead bug skull crusher. If you want, you can even press yourself up. Oh no. We're going to go for tapping feet down to the floor while you crush your skull, and then legs back up towards the ceiling. Begin. So low back presses down towards the floor as you go ahead and bring the weights towards the top of your head or your shoulders. Your feet simultaneously tap down towards the mat. You're working to keep that 90-degree angle. So it's not just bending your knees, bringing your feet to the floor. It is releasing your feet a little forward. If you're having trouble, maybe you bring feet to the floor and then you find your skull crusher so you can get that good range of motion for each. I think that's what I need to do this morning. I can't walk, talk, and chew gum at 7:30. What was our first move? Do you remember? Me neither. It was bird dog. All right, so flipping back over, we're going to find that still 90 degrees with the legs, arms coming out to the side instead of forward. 3, 2, 1. So reaching towards that side wall with your hand, a little squeeze to bring heel closer towards glute. Ooh, let's add in a crunch this round too. So find your extension, find your elbow and knee crunch, extend out to the side again, and then bring it back down. Great. So we're extending, we're crunching, we're getting an extra extension, and then bringing it back to the ground. Now try not to just like overly arch your back here. So your back can stay in that good old tabletop while it's in tabletop. Whew. Finishing out this round. Next up, we've got that quarter sit up. So turn over, lean halfway back. Bring your weights if you want. Feet can stay on the floor. Elbows high in line with shoulders, palms face down, belly in, chest up, a little squeeze, a little release back to that halfway point. Remember, if you need to, you can bring yourself all the way up to keep your back feeling good, and then still just go to that halfway point. But if you can, just work here in this like quarter sit up. Arms should be moving just about an inch. I know it's tempting to let the arms really start to extend forward. Ooh, need to shake it out for a sec. Get right back in if you can. Elbows nice and high, chest nice and lifted. We are almost there, almost there. We did it. Lay down on your back. We got our dead bug, toe tap, skull crushers. And then we've got our challenge move. Ready? Keep those knees bent at 90 degrees, low back on the floor. You can try and do it both at the same time. Begin. Or if you need to, tap your toes down and then crush your skull or your shoulders for that tricep move. Yay! All right. For our last, oopsies, for our last move of the day, you might need a slightly lighter weight. I'm going to switch to a lighter weight to be smart. For myself, we've got a straight leg sit up coming your way. Straight leg sit up to overhead press. You know, we got to find that front raise all the way up towards the sky while we're here. So starting down on the floor, with your arms up overhead, we're going to find the lat pull over to the chest. You can press into your heels to lift yourself all the way up. Arms come up overhead and then palms face in towards each other. Find that lower to the floor. Find that lift to the sky. And then we're going to slowly lower ourselves back down into your lat pull over. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. So arms start high up overhead. Bring them to your chest. And then use your abs, sit yourself up. Beautiful. Arms slowly lower down, control on the way down. Chest lifted, control on the way up. And then release yourself back down to the floor. Hands over chest, and then your lat pull over. So that way you're not using momentum. You're taking a moment, weights pause above your chest so that you're using your abs to find your lift. You got it. This is our last exercise of the day. We've only got one more round of it. We're halfway through right now. think I can use a heavier weight, so I'm going to do it. Woo, that lat pullover at the end here. Oh my gosh. I was at the front here, that race. 3, 2, 1. Take your 15-second break, 15 seconds, and then one last time through. And then we're done with strength for the day. At least I am. All right. In 3, 2, 1. Last minute. Just kidding. But I'm done with strength for the morning, that's for sure. And I'm looking forward to all of the stretches from today's upcoming yin class. Just a couple breaths left. Whew. Last 10 seconds of work. For 3, 2, 1. Put your weights down. We are done. Let's flip over. Come right into tabletop. We spent a lot of time focused on the warm up, on the workout. We got just a couple minutes here for the cool down. So come right into a couple of cat cows. Start the moment with your hips, but think about really pressing the tops of the feet into the floor, pressing the baby toe nubbin down towards the mat. So you'll feel a little bit more of a stretch in your glutes. And then work to find an extra rise into your chest. Push your hands palms into the mat. Start thinking about what are you going to eat after this class. We got some good strength work going, so I hope that you plan to refuel yourself with some protein, with some carbs, hopefully within the next 30 minutes. All right, coming back through to your neutral tabletop. Let's go ahead, send one leg out towards the side. So bringing your big toe down on the floor, release your heel down so it's in line with your big toe. Push the outer edge of the foot into the floor, and then you can gently shift glutes back towards your heels. Getting another big stretch on your inner thighs. Awesome. Once more, let glutes sit back towards heels. Hold it there. Press the outer edge of your foot into the floor for 3, 2, 1. Shift the weight forward. Bring the left leg all the way around. Cross it over the right side of the body. Push into your hands, palms again. Shift hips a little to the left and look over your shoulder. Maybe you see your right foot today. Maybe you don't. Big stretch into the exterior hip, left side of the body. Eye gaze comes forward. Bring your left knee back in. Give yourself a couple cats. Give yourself a couple cows, or maybe just one of each really slow. Then back to your neutral tabletop. Let's send that other leg out towards the side. So bringing your big toe down on the floor, bring your heel in line behind it the best you can. Press the outer edge of your right foot to the floor, and then exhale, send glutes back towards your heels. Holy guaca, stretch a moly. Wow, just like 3 or 4 times, and then we'll take a nice long breath with glutes stretching back towards heels. Awesome. Find that hold this time. Exhale, get all your air out. Push the pinky toe to the floor. Then shift weight forward. Drag your right foot all the way around and over. Oh my gosh. Feeling so tight. Push into your hands, palms. Look over your left shoulder. Maybe you see your right foot today. Shift your hips a little to the right. Great work. I'm thinking about having some cottage cheese, scrambled eggs. Go ahead, bring your right leg back in line with the left. Tuck your toes under, send your glutes up towards the ceiling. Take a quick pedal through your heel. Give a little love to your calves, and then let's get into those hamstrings again. So walk your feet to your hands or your hands to your feet. Take a big old dangle. You can grab hold of your opposite elbows. You can generously bend your knees, belly on thighs, shoulders like a tablecloth starting to wrap around, or as if your thighs as well. Take a moment, shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. Slowly root to rise, and let's come back to one of those stretches we did at the very beginning. So just a little shift the weight, draw your knee towards your chest, maybe give yourself a little lean back, a little extra stretch into that hip flexor here as well. Let's get two on each side. And if that's still not happening, you're just working to bring that knee up, even without the lean back. After the second one, plant both feet down on the floor. Bend your knees generously. Inhale your arms all the way up towards the sky. Stretch up from your waist. Relax your right hand down. Reach left arm over to the right side. One more side body stretch. Inhale back up through center. Relax left hand down. Reach over to the left side. Inhale back up. Relax your arms down. One more big breath. Bend your knees. Inhale, stretch. And then exhale, release your arms down, however feels good. Maybe a little walk, maybe a little wiggle, maybe a little extra twist through your shoulders. Oh my gosh, we did it. What did you think? Did you have fun? Adding that balance into the strength component, bringing a little bit more balance to the party makes you pull in from your center line more. You really figure out how to engage. And then we brought it all back together, especially with that final challenging setup. I hope you had a great time. And I hope that you'll think about joining me later to stretch it out a bit more with Yin. Have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever time or day it is you join me for this one. Bye, everybody.